Hey guys, it's Jared here, and today I'm just be showing you guys a quick comparison between the HTC Droid DNA and the Samsung Stratosphere. I know this isn't really a very good comparison, but it's just kind of a comparison between a basic smartphone, so to speak, and a higher end one like the DNA that has very high hardware. So first off, start off by just saying that if you can put the, oh, by the way, this is my mom's, this is not mine. The DNA is mine, but this is not mine. So the Stratosphere is a 4-inch screen and can fit inside my DNA. So even with the case on and with the DNA case on, the HTC or the Samsung fits in my Droid DNA perfectly. So that's just something to keep in mind, screen-wise or size-wise. The screen on the Stratosphere is a 800 by 400, and the DNA is a 1200 or 1920 by 1080, which is 1080p. The Stratosphere has a dual 1.2 gigahertz processor with, I believe, 1 gig of RAM. Yes. As well as, I believe it's 8 gigs internal, and then you can get a 32 gig or up to 32 gig micro SD card. I believe it's running Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich. Could be wrong on that, but pretty sure. So that's that. Now let's go over a little bit of the DNA. The DNA is running a quad 1.5 gigahertz processor with 2 gigs of RAM. I should probably go over the processor. The Samsung Stratosphere, I'm not sure on the exact model number or model of the processor, but I know the DNA has a 1.5 gigahertz quad-core Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 Pro processor, and it's got 2 gigs of DDR2 RAM, not DDR3 or any of that yet. The display is a 5-inch 1080p Super LCD 3 Gorilla display, glass 2, and the display is on the Stratosphere is a Samsung 4.0 Super AMOLED 800 by 480. So enough for the screens and all that. Let's actually get into the actual phones themselves. So the power button on here is up at the top. It's not much of a hassle in my opinion. I think it's quite nice. And then the power button on here is on the side. So as you guys may see, the Stratosphere is a lot brighter. That's just because I have the brightness turned. I don't have the brightness configured in this phone yet, but it's just the camera catching it. The DNA is perfectly bright, but that's that. Let's try and open these now. Alright, I'm going to put my passcode in off camera. Alright, so I was actually running SmartBench 2012 before this video, so we'll just leave that running for now, and actually we'll just give it a second or two. Screw it. Okay, so I'll start off by showing some benchmarks, and then after that, final thoughts. The Antutu benchmark for the Samsung Stratosphere has a score of 3271, which is pretty low in my opinion, but it's not like anything like the DNA or Note 2, any high end. This is just a basic smartphone. So that's that. Now Antutu on my DNA. Whoops. I got 13175, and this was probably the lowest score I've actually gotten. Let's see if I can see. I believe I have a screenshot somewhere, maybe? Let's go to my gallery. I believe I have a screenshot. Maybe not. Okay, yes I do. Alright, here we go. So, alright. Okay, here it is. So, this one was 2149 score. So this completely destroys the Stratosphere. So let's go ahead and re-unlock this for the 15th time. So here's the score for all that stuff. You can pause it if you want. And then let's see the scores for Stratosphere. There you go. Alright, so now let's go back to the home page. Whoops. Alright, so now let's open up Quadrant Standard Edition. So I haven't run this yet actually on this, but this should only take a few seconds. Run full benchmark, no custom, just straight up. So look how fast this thing's going. This is just tearing it up. I mean, the CPU's already done, and it took about 5 minutes for this to run. And look how smooth this is. This is getting absolutely no FPS lag. It's stayed above 50 FPS the entire time. Alright. So while this is going, the scores for this are quite low actually. Quadrant reads it as 1278 overall, and everything else is quite high obviously. So the Samsung Nexus S is the next thing above that, then the Desire HD, then the Optimus 2X, then obviously we start getting into our higher end stuff, and then there's a tablet in there in the mix I think. Ah yes, the Galaxy Tab 10.1, and then just keeps going up until you get to the HTC One X. It's a good phone, but DNA is better. Okay, so benchmark's done. So yes, we're gonna want to. Okay, so look how much the DNA destroys the HX, and look how much the HX destroys the Stratosphere. The HTC One X is the first one up here. Whoops. Oh crap, sorry guys. The HTC One X is all the way up here when the Stratosphere is all the way at the bottom with 1278. That's just crazy. The DNA is double, almost double of what the HTC One X is. That's just crazy guys. So now let's go ahead and go back to the home page on both devices. Now, let's just do some, I believe Smart Bench is still running. Let's see how we're doing there. Alright, there we go. Smart Bench, I'm not sure if it already ran or not. Let's run it. Let's go ahead and run it, guys. See how long it takes this. So, run Smart Bench. Alright, so look how fast the DNA is going. We were just at this part for the Stratosphere, and we're almost done with the DNA. So you can see it's almost on par with the Stratosphere already. So now it's ahead of the Stratosphere now. Alright, that's that. Now it's doing the GL Jellyfish test. Alright. The DNA is just a bit oh, what's it called I'm looking for? Shaggy, I guess you could say. So let's see. Invalid results for. Did you not switch out of? Alright, whatever. So the DNA comes in at the top at the scores are, the productivity index is 4,903 and the stock ROM is 2,280, which is very good. I'll just show you guys one more. It's great. That's amazing. It kicks every other phone's productivity index's ass by a lot. The phone that is almost it's 1/4. What am I looking for? The phone that is the closest is still 1/4 of the way behind compared to the DNA. So let's just go ahead and reopen this. Alright. So now let's do a quick couple browsing tests. So let's go ahead and put this down. So let's go ahead and open. Oh crap, I don't have the same browser. That's a problem. Okay, it should still be in here. Maybe. By the way, the case is an OtterBox Defender for the Droid DNA. Nope, I don't have it. Let me just fix this problem. Alright guys, sorry for the delay. It's gonna be a couple seconds. I can't get it, so let's just see what we can do. We'll just start off by doing a few applications, I guess. So let's start off by doing email. So 1, 2, 3. So the DNA loaded a lot faster, like it should. Let's start off by going through the applications. So 1, 2, 3. About the same, but the DNA was still faster. So let's go home again. Let's see what we got here. Let's go into the applications and look for an app to run it against. Let's try the camera. Yeah, let's try the camera app. So let's run that. So camera and camera. 3, 2, 1. That was a fail. Alright, let's retry this. 3, 2, 1. So as you can see, the DNA loaded quite fast, and you can see my keyboard on there. But the Stratosphere is very laggy when you move it around. The DNA, you can move it, do whatever, and it's smooth. This is quite shaky. This is quite smooth. So that's that as far as it goes. Let's see if there's one other app we can use. Alright, okay, we've done enough testing, so obviously the DNA is the winner, like it should be. So now let's just do a few overall opinions / pros and cons. So we'll start off by the Stratosphere. The Stratosphere is a good phone if you just want to do texting and stuff because it has the keyboard. That brings up something I want to talk about. The Stratosphere is a lot thicker than the DNA. With the case off, it's a lot thicker. Obviously for the DNA it's a lot smaller, but this, even with the case, is a lot thicker. So it's because it has a keyboard, and I mean that's okay if you want it, but I prefer touch keyboard. So that's that. What else about the Stratosphere as a con? I don't like where they have the camera. I don't like how it's off to the side. I like having the camera / flashlight in the middle. What else is there? There's not much cons other than it's slow for browsing, as well as it's playing games and doing some pictures. It's quite bad quality for pictures, but other than that, it's a cheap phone. Comes with a keyboard if you like that kind of thing. It gets the job done, but I wouldn't advise doing any heavy gaming like playing, I don't know, you can play Dead Space 2, I believe, on Android. Maybe that's only iOS, but games like those that are pretty intensive, I wouldn't recommend playing on this. So it's a cheap phone. If you just want something basic but you want a smartphone, get this, or just look around for similar phones like this. So let's go and put this off to the side. So I'll turn it over so it doesn't glare. The DNA is just great. It kicks ass. Any phone, it blows any phone out of the water for the most part. So put my password in off camera. So I mean, it just, look how fast this goes. It just, wow. Then let's launch Chrome. Bam. It's ridiculous how fast this thing is. So let's start off with the cons. Con would be, actually I kind of like the power button up here, but most people think it's a con to have the power button up here, right there in the middle, like in the long phone 5 and the 4S and previous iPhone versions. You can get away with it on the iPhone, but some people don't think it's good for the DNA. I personally like it, but that's me. The tab for where you put your charger in / for your USB is there's a little plastic tab that it feels like it's gonna break off, but I mean you're only gonna use it when you're charging and stuff, so that's not a big deal. What else is a little con? That's all con wise in my opinion. Oh, the battery life. Okay, yeah, that's a major one. The battery life is probably the main con out of this. Even though the first time I charged this thing to 100%, I got 19-20 hours, and I was doing gaming, browsing, watching YouTube videos, playing some music, all that. I got 20-ish hours, and that was a mix of doing things that can run your battery down, as well as things that aren't very intensive that won't run it down. So that's good. I've heard people get 30 hours with just browsing and basic things that don't take a lot of power. So that's that. Let's start off with, let's go to the pros now. So the pros are definitely the specs. Quad 1.5 GHz Snapdragon S4 Pro processor. It's super fast, snappy. 2 gigs of RAM is great. Whoops. The 1080p is insane. People might argue that the 1080p screen doesn't make a difference, but I think it increases the whole overall experience of the phone. It just adds something to it. The PPI of pixels per inch is 467, I believe. That's just, oh my, that's just insane for me. Compared to its competitor, the Note 2 has a 260 something PPI. I think I might be getting the 467 part, the 67 part of the 400 from the Note 2. I think that's 267. I think the DNA is 440 or something. Somewhere, it's high. Let's just say that. It's like 100 some more than the iPhone. So, that's good there. As well as, I think I've said the screen's 5 inches. Yes, I've said that. great overall phone. I like how the phone is red. The decals on the sides are red. You can't see it because I have the case on. And then the camera, there's a little ring around the camera that has a red stripe, as well as the flashlight's nice and bright and big. I like how there's no buttons that pop up like on the Note 2. There's a home button that pops out. Everything is all touch. So I wouldn't buy any phone at full retail price, any smartphone that is. Like this is $600 retail, I believe, and then 2-year contract is $200. But Verizon charges the $30 upgrade fee, so it'll be $230. So just keep in mind that. With that being said, the DNA is a great phone if you're trying to decide between a Razer HD or Max HD or DNA or Note 2 or any of the more popular phones now. I would go with either the DNA or the Max HD. Screw the Note 2 just because it's got a 5.5-inch screen. That's the only thing better. There's nothing better about it than the screen. It kicks the DNA kicks the Note 2's ass in every benchmark. Not by a huge amount, but it's enough to, buy it over this. Plus, the Note 2 is $100 more, so that's something to keep in mind as well. So, thank you guys for watching this review. This is my first review, and sorry if it was a bit amateurish. Sorry. I hope to be getting better in the future, as well as getting more lighting and better lighting, rather, and just provide more high quality videos to you guys. So until next time, guys, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and like this video. It helps. So until next time, guys, see ya.